Hey, gentlemen, gentlemen, this is with Dr. D, here to inspire, to encourage, to motivate, to educate, helping you get beyond your move. If your first move. So, if you find any value in this content, go ahead and give me help me help you, so we can help others clicking, clicking subscribe and hitting the bell for future notifications for upcoming videos. And while you do that, what you do is you help you, so we can help make it better tomorrow. Hey, all right. You know what it is. Tonight is you know what tonight is. It's men's the mask men wear. Right? The mask men wear. All right. Today is Mask Men Wear Part 2. And I'm doing a 3-part series, and this is the second of the Mask Men Wear. And what we're doing tonight is we're doing the recap, the update, or the up and coming, and the Q&A. But for those who are coming on Q&A, go ahead and get your comments together. So go ahead and put them in chat. I'm gonna open the chat right now, and so when I get through with my recap and my update, then we will embark on the question and answer session of this session. Okay. All right. Here we go. The recap. All right. The recap. The name of the video is the man. For those who come in for the first time, this is Heroes Journey with Dr. D, and I'm doing a recap and a Q&A. So here we go. The recap. The part of the video, the series I'm doing is a 3-part series called the Mask Men Wear, the Mask of Masculinity. Because often men get a bad rap on a lot of different things. However, they get the rap because they don't deserve it, because a lot of times men just don't know. And they don't know what they're walking in, what they're living with on their face. And some do know, and some really don't care. But I'm not here to address that right now. I'm just here to do a recap of the last video. The last video, the topics that I discussed was being a joker, aggression, and sexuality. Yes, right. I said sexuality. All right. I need some coffee for that. All right. So, okay. The men's mask. When it comes to sexuality, as I discussed in the video previously, generally young boys grow up with a certain rule, a general rule that's saying they have to have a lot of machismo, a lot of, girlfriend. You have to be real macho, but you're not allowed to show your emotions. You are not allowed to show your feelings. You are, heaven forbid you cry when you fall and hurt your knee. Oh, heaven forbid that can't happen. But what's happened throughout the generations, and hopefully we can get a grip on this in this generation and going further, is that for men to get a better grip on who they are internally. A lot of times we deal with things externally about security and protection, looking the role of being macho, but are men really in touch with the feelings? So when you talk about sexuality, it's kind of the rite of passage is that, everybody makes fun of the person that doesn't get up or doesn't look the part, who's not trying to get the girls. But why should he try to get all the girls when he doesn't even know who he is? Why should he try to connect with a young lady and ruin her life and her future prospect of living a fruitful life? And why should a young boy get involved with a young girl at a certain age? I talked about this in the video about, everybody see all the girls. Okay, so what? What does that do for you? More importantly, how does that affect a young lady? Men are not taught to engage with individuals with the opposite sex with tender and with caution. You need to engage with the opposite sex as you would want them to engage with you, with caution. But the thing is, we're not taught. Sexuality, you talk about, you need notches on your belt, or you don't get married because you have to sow your wild oats or get a couple of notches on your belt. So you go through woman after woman after woman, but still you're getting a temporary feeling for a vast hole that's right here. Sex is temporary, but you don't know what's inside. It gives you a good feeling, but if you empty inside, the outside not gonna really make it go away. Especially when a young boy is coming of age and does not necessarily don't know who he is. So he's told to be a man, don't cry, take it out in the field, but not to deal with who he is. So but to use men, manipulate, maneuver, to get what they want. Not to connect and be an idol, but to get what they want. It's not even about them. It's about the man. We need to change the education, how we're teaching young boys, how to raise up. You got a lot of men growing up and being real depressed and are afraid to talk about it and get it out the system, write it down or speak it, and then they're hurt and then they committed suicide. Like recently, this football player, NFL football player, his boys never knew because he was told, men don't let their feelings show. That's a lie from the pit of hell, which is killing a lot of men. High rate of suicide, violent death men have. All right, so that's dealing with the sexuality and actually going to aggression. I talked about an example of Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis and many other professional athletes, even young athletes, use sports as a funnel for their aggression. And that's really a good thing, especially when you're not wise enough, you don't have emotional intelligence. You do not know how to regulate your emotions. So it's really good. It's really good to actually to funnel it. But while you're focusing your energies in that direction in a healthy manner, which is legal, deal with yourself off the field. Deal with yourself off the basketball court. Deal with yourself off the mat. Because you know what? It may come a time where you can't play football anymore. It may come a time you can't play basketball, wrestle, box. So what's here? What you need to deal with. So the aggression, a lot of men have it. But how do you deal with it? And young boys are not taught. When you're dealing with a man, you really deal with a boy. When you're dealing with a man with an issue, the same thing with a woman. It's really the broken child that you deal with. And if it wasn't dealt with back then it just grows and gets bigger and bigger. And still needs to be dealt with. A lot of times, aggression, a lot of men, the pain and the sadness is funneled with the aggression. My father left me. He never took me out anywhere. I got abused, so therefore I funnel things. I suppress it, and I need to let that hurt, because the hurt is articulated is suppressed down, and then it comes up, and it comes right up here, and it's triggered, and then the aggression takes effect. You may hurt somebody. Sometimes people black out. I did a video called Anger Being a Secondary Emotion. It's a secondary emotion because it's a whole bunch of sub-emotions that build frustration, anger, sadness, resentfulness. Things build up. They build up and pop. And anger it's the red light. It's a red light on the car that says that the engine is about to break down. It's a red light this warning. Is something wrong underneath? It's not just like it's something wrong underneath. There's something wrong underneath. So when you just think about if you're in the car and there's something wrong underneath, what do you need to do? Open up the hood to see what's underneath, what's wrong. But unfortunately, a lot of men do not open up the hood to evaluate what's going on inside their engine. And so therefore, they break down prematurely. Aggression allows you just to keep going, but it comes a time. You gotta get deeper, you gotta get to the root. Because if you don't have an effective channel, and you have effective channel to funnel that aggression, you may be an artist, you may be something else, then that can take a toll over you. And then you have the Joker. The Joker is the person like Robin Williams. Robin Williams is actually the perfect example of a person who puts the mask on as a Joker. He spent his life making everybody else smile, everybody else laugh, and he was good at it. But he couldn't make himself smile. He couldn't make himself laugh. Which is why his life ended. Because while he didn't deal with the things inside, he didn't go into rage. He used laughter to make everybody else smile. And he tried to use drugs and alcohol to suppress his depression, and which only made it worse. Deadly. So, it's good to laugh. It's good to joke. But a perpetual clown is somebody who's really sad. All right. That's my, you go ahead and put your chats in there if everybody's online. Oh, wait a minute. The update of my next video is what I'll be talking about. Invincibility. The afterthoughts. Well, I may get my names wrong, but I have three titles that I'm talking about. We talk about the Invincible Man. Hold on a second. Have it written down right here for next week. As you see, my times are getting later when I update my video because these topics are a little bit more research than my other topics. So therefore, you'll get it before the replay, update, up and coming, and the Q&A. So that's my recap, and that's my up and coming or my update. And now we have a Q&As. And if anybody's in the chat, let me know. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. And if anybody's in the waiting room so I can click you on, let me know so I can put you in the system. Hi, Dr. D. I'm in the chats now. Paula. Hi, Dr. D. That lost their father at 7 and 13. Both had issues growing up. Let me click this on the stream. All right. Hi, Dr. D. I had two sons that lost their father at 7 and 13. Both had issues growing with that loss. Be supportive. I think you're doing what you can. At a certain age, a man, even if he's a man boy, he's still a man. And while some are not as mature as others, have some of an ego. And sometimes you have to have gloves on as you deal with them. It doesn't have to affect how you are in yourself. What you need to do is actually, you just need to deal with them like you're dealing with them. I mean, they lost their father. You can't go back in time. You cannot change what happened. You can what you can be. They have role models, and they have models. Now, the role models that they may have may not be the healthiest role models. And so they'll choose. You get a certain age, your cognitive skills build up, and you can choose what you want to be. So whether somebody in your house, somebody outside your house, or it may be somebody on television, or even somebody in a book, you can pick a mentor that you never talked to. You can pick a mentor that you never met. But you have to determine in your mind what you want to be and what you want to make out of your life, because you only have one life to live. I can't depend on my mama to do too many things for me now. I'm 50 years old. So what? Ma, but I do know this happens. So therefore you can be supportive ear, tough love. Do not treat them like they're 7. That's the best thing you can do, is not treat them like they're a little boy, because they won't respect you. All right. All right. All right, Paula. I am live. Gentlemen, gentlewomen. I've been with difficulties. I've been trying to do a multi-stream and trying to move around and try to get out to everybody, but it ain't been working. All right, Paula, Phil, and Tito, if you moved over with me, Brenda, moved over with me, give me a thumbs up, say something in my chat section. So, excuse me, I was trying to work some things out, and it will be better in about later next week, because it was kind of frustrating. Phil actually told me, said, you sound a little frustrated. Well, just a little bit, because you're stuck. Yes, I'm here. I think. Okay. Yes, I'm here. Can everybody see me? Can you see me? Anybody see me? You hear me? Well, Paul, your stuff's a little... Okay, Phil, can you see me? All right. Okay, you can hear me. Okay, where do we leave off at? Because you know I'm editing everything. I'm put everything together. I'm piece everything together. Let's sing a song. Adam throwing bricks at it. Adam throwing bricks at it. I can see and hear you. Okay, good. All right. What song, Phil? Okay, I got it. I can see clearly now. The rain is... I don't know the rest of the song, but I can see clearly now. I'm moving. I'm not stuck. It's a little delay, but ain't too bad. I see the comments. I see lights. Ooh, I got bags in my eyes. All right. Okay, I can see and hear you. Okay, good. All right. Paula had a dark question. Yeah, I'm recast out. What part of the I said machismo. I said what part of the statement that you did not hear, Paula, when I said, okay, I'm gonna repeat your dark question though. My dark question is about what creates a pedophile or a rapist, and my assumption that this aggression is referred to it has something to do with the mask of aggression. Am I correct on this? All right. Yeah, I believe I'm correct. Now let me know. So what I wrapped up to say is that what creates is a combination from predisposition, genetic traits, environment, and situations. Because everybody that may have a tendency to go that direction based on the predisposition, genetic trait, the background, don't necessarily go that way. Why? Because they may have a loving home. Why? Because the environment in which they grew up was not as hostile, was not that hostile. However, on the flip side, you may have individuals who have the previous. Okay, you did not have the on the flip side, you may have individuals who have the genetic trait and have everything that encourages it. Father got molested, somebody else got molested, then it comes down, and then they become molested, and then they're in the situation where it's all your fault. Then they're blamed, and they're accused, and so they harbor. But what is a child to do? If you're 5, 6 years old, you can't really battle against an adult rightly. So what happens is that they suppress the thing. Then they get of age, get a little stature, hormones start to build up, and so what happens? They get the frustration builds up, and then they become the aggressor. They become the aggressor. Now, and I stated this before, just because you have thoughts and things are all around us, just because thoughts come in your head does not mean you need to build a resonance for them. It's no excuse because you have pedophile thoughts. There's no excuse if you have violent thoughts to take that on in other individual. Right. There is no excuse for that. Some people have found conducive ways. Some people have found. Okay, good. So some people have found conducive ways to funnel that, and then as they funnel the frustration of the aggression, as they funnel it, then they dig deep inside and find the root of it, so they can release it. Okay, did I answer your question, Paula? All right. While you respond to that, I'm gonna answer Phil's question. Now, unfortunately, on this platform, I can't put the questions on the screen. However, but I will repeat every one of them. Okay. My question is, what is the difference between someone who is a class clown versus a clown? Person with deeper underlying issues. A lot of times you won't know. A lot of people who are not in Robin Williams' inner circle didn't know that he was depressed and he had underlying issues. If you weren't close to him, you know that he's one person. He's a person giving everybody's cheer. Like I stated in the video, Christopher Reeves was just had the accident. We got paralyzed. Robin Williams went into the doctor's office and said, "Listen, are you ready for your rectal exam?" He was trying to cheer him up. So he relished on giving other people cheer, but he didn't know how to cheer himself. The issues that he had that was deep. Instead of dealing with them, he used drugs to suppress them. He didn't become aggressive. That shifted up and he became the Joker. That became the Joker. Okay, so okay, I'm laughing because Paula actually stated how I explained it. I explained things for aggression. You should think about Dexter, Mary Dexter. One of my favorite shows because it's very good in psychological trauma and verbiage. It was Dexter was an individual that dealt with trauma, and he utilized that trauma. To be a serial killer. Now, it's not funny. Yeah, but the irony is there. It's so satire. But when he came to grips with the desire to kill, that's when his whole world came up because his conscience opened up and he started to care. Or he did care because he had his father's rule, Harry's rules, and he only killed because if somebody killed, because remember early in the shows he was killing dead animals, and his father said we need to funnel this aggression. See, that's the thing. He has aggression, but we generally always have aggression, but it comes from somewhere. His came from trauma, and later on, the trauma actually is dealing with seeing his mother die and being in that place where there was nothing but blood. So therefore, he didn't know what it was until he dealt with it. Yeah. So okay. So that's me explaining. Yes, boss. Okay. Philip says, well, Robin Williams' issue required medicine because he had a chemical imbalance that he could not control. Therefore, doctor, you cannot entirely blame him. Paul said he was a pretty decent man. I'm not blaming him. The medication, a lot of that medication is nothing but a mask for a deeper problem. Medication doesn't cure you. It just stops the pain temporarily. Because if medication cures you, you should be able to take one pill and feel no more pain. You should be able to take one pill and feel no more hurt. That's why people get addicted to narcotics, because it hides the pain. As it is emotional, it becomes physical, or vice versa. So therefore, just think about a person has a lot of pain, they take a whole bunch of medication because they want to mask it. Now, it may be doing irreparable harm, but they want to deal with the pain. But if a person deals with emotional hurt as well, a lot of people, they become addicted because they want to deal with the pain. So they take a lot of Oxycontin to numb themselves, it physically and emotionally. So if they numb, they're not moving, they're asleep. They just want to numb the pain instead of dealing with the pain. If you deal with the pain, you administer pain. You feel pain. You may feel intense pain, but it doesn't last if you deal with it. It's like getting it up, pain. It's like it's always a storm before the sunshine. It rains hardest before sunshine, but the rain is needed to grow the crops. Because if you don't have rain, the ground breaks. All right, more questions? I like this one. I just yes, it's a chemical imbalance, Philip. Yes, it's a chemical imbalance, yes. But all chemicals balance it. It's a chemical balance. Okay, tell me this. Was he born with the chemical imbalance? I'm waiting, Philip. I cannot, or Phil says, Paul agrees. Paul says, I agree he needed to deal with issues, not just medicine. Well, Philip says, I cannot, or shall I say, humans cannot. Endorphins in the brain. What? Need clarity. But possibly no. You're born with predispositions. You're born with a genetic traits, but you don't have to live with them. You can change with your genetic traits. You can change. You're not predestined to be one way. You determine. As a man think, oh, see, if you think you're terrible, you will be terrible. And if you say it enough, you feel it. Put life to that thing. Yeah. You Robin Williams may have been born to a situation where it elicited a lot of pain. I'll give you that. Born to a situation, an environment. And so for how did he deal or cope with the environment? He became a comedian and very intelligent at that. He's very multifaceted in his skill set. He did drama and comedy. You can increase the endorphins in your brain. Dopamine. You can increase it. Exercise helps that as well. Thank you very much. Yeah. And Paula, he did seek medicine. It's called cocaine. Paula said that Robin Williams also had enough money to seek medication if that were the case. Oh, he did have medication. Yeah, cocaine and alcohol. Yeah, but it's in his circles it was all right. So he numbed the pain. He never dealt with the pain. And when you numb it enough, it gets bigger and bigger. It gets bigger and bigger. And it got so big he can control it. Okay. And Paula said Robin also had enough money to seek medication if that were the case. Phil said, how? Paula said, if he didn't get the medication, it was because he chose not to. Yeah, he had money. He chose, but the cocaine's quick. I call it quick. Some people want to deal with it. They don't want to deal with the process. They just want to get it over with so they can get on with life. Have you ever dealt with something where you just want to get over, just deal with it right there, get it over with, so you can get on with life? If a quick solution for a more deeper problem. All right, Paula brought out a book. Hot peppers release endorphins. Chocolate releases endorphins. Exercise releases endorphins. You definitely can't control your endorphins. Mic drop. Bang! Feel your turn. Uh, and cocaine. Oh, and Paul said, and sex is another really good one to release endorphins. Yes. Feel your turn. I wanted to show my bobblehead on Restream tonight. If he was, he has an alien side chick. Next week I'm gonna have it fixed. I'm getting next week. I'm gonna do I'm gonna work on something else because yeah. Well, I believe it's my upload speed is not the fastest. It's not the fastest, and I'm gonna have to shift to something so it can be faster. And I was talking to my computer guy today, and he told me, said we need a bit faster up speed. All right, so he said you wanted to show your bobblehead on Restream tonight. He has an alien side chick. Restream was slow too. It seems like YouTube is actually moving faster than all of them. I mean, okay, she has one eye. Oh, that's funny. She has one eye. I have 4 DUI. Do it just how many times I've done it. Hold on. Okay, I have 4 DUIs. Do a test how many times I've done just that. What are you referring to, Paula? Okay. Give 3 ways to release endorphins, just that. All the things that Paula stated earlier. Paula says endorphin chocolate releases, exercise releases endorphins. You definitely can control your endorphins, and sex releases endorphins. So she had endorphins. Very good. Oh, she gave you 3 ways. She gave you she gave you 3 ways. I told you. Chocolate releases endorphins. Exercise releases endorphins. And sex releases endorphins. If you like that comment, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Thumbs up, invite. Thumbs up, thumbs up. All right. I'm gonna show this. Sex. Get me reviewing this. Also, sex, drugs, and rock and roll releases endorphins, according to Dr. O'Malley. Yeah, man. And this is St. Patrick's Day. But we wear masks during all 3 examples. Paul said to test or how many times. Okay, a test or how many times instant gratification myself. For feels I thought we were supposed to take off our mask. No, masks are useful. Masks are useful in certain situations. But if you don't feel safe, you keep your mask on. Masks are needed. Is when you don't realize you have a mask on, which becomes the issue. Okay? Such as monkey? What's that picture? What our masks are used for? I couldn't find the thumbs up. Well, it should be down below. Well, is it? Oh, it's on the screen. Well, you can't click it on the screen, but it's down below. All right. It's down low in like the chat section of or YouTube. All right. When are masks used for? I couldn't find a thumbs up. I found red thumbs with the cute little monkey. Funny. Paula, a happy St. Patrick's Day. I might. When are masks useful? When are masks useful? When are masks useful? When you go to work? When you deal with certain relatives? But a lot of times the mask was for the other person. See, you try to help the other person out. Is it that because you know that when you get out depressed, you can take it off? I'm asking the question. I mean, Matt, when are masks useful? They're useful when you go to work. They're useful when you deal with specific family members. They're useful when you deal with individual that you want to deal with. And they're useful when you go on, when you participate in specific sports. You have to put on aggressive masks if you're playing football. Especially when you're boxing or you're wrestling for that matter. You can't say, oh, you got me. And yeah, you can. You do not show our assets at work. Yeah, you can't show up. You can't show everything because a lot of times a person feels. So you have to be able to assess where you are and who you're dealing with. And when you be able to when you properly assess that individual or the people, then you actually have a better grip. Yeah, you have better control of how you need to respond to keep you sane. But you're not sure our masks at work. Do you ever wear a mask? Not sports. You're cheating. Or, well, I'm cheating. You ask, do you ever wear a mask? Yes. All right. Now, Paul, I've got a different screen than you do. I'm on, and whatever. I'm not tech friendly. Is it the half screen? I'm getting tech friendly. I'm just not there yet. E-Ray. I guess that's the end of my if I can't get through, I can't talk. Bro. All right. Okay, gentlemen, gentlemen, this is Hero's Journey with Dr. D. This has been a sight for the last half of the discussion, and I wish I could complete, but I paused the E-Ray, and then my thing is shaking. But next week, we're going to try to make a more fluid broadcast. I'm trying to work on getting a better upload speed so it can work. I'm going to do a couple of test runs during the week so it can be better. Yeah. Phil said a little frustrated. Yeah, it was a little frustrating because I started on time, but I couldn't get stuff moving like I wanted to get to move, and too choppy. And I'm gonna have to I'm gonna connect both of these things together and make On Thursday, I'm doing live premiere. It'll come on 9 o'clock. And so I'm going to splice it up and do it right. I have anybody's voices but mine, but we still do what it do. Okay, so I appreciate y'all still being here with me and have this is a real good discussion, and be on the lookout for the um, I'm trying to read. Okay, it's not coming through. So Paul, why don't you just send it to me on a text and then I'll read it. I keep reading the comments everywhere else in reference to the tattoos not on my face. Okay. They're everywhere else but not on my face. That's good. Not on the bottom of your feet. Not on the bottom of your feet. Yeah, but they're everywhere else. Yeah. Well, what you can do? There's a lot of money. If they're not going to invest money in you taking them off, then I wouldn't worry about it. I don't think you are. Journey men, journey women. That's the end of this video. Hope you received something from this content that I put out. And also, if you'd like to get a little bit more, look up above and click the Purpose Driven series and my Emotion series. I promise you there's something in there for you. And if you need a little bit more one-on-one time for me to help you get beyond your first move, click down below and hit my website and we can talk further about how I can assist you. And also, if you don't remember anything else, remember this. Every day you get up vertical, make it your goal to life to move forward and not backwards, because you are important. And this is a hero's journey with Dr. Deeds. Ow.